We got more clips from OTAs, and we're going to be taking a look at the Buffalo Bills and getting our first look at Curtis Samuel. We're going to watch him catch some balls, run through some drills. But before we do all that, you need to click that subscribe button right now. We're going hard in the paint, looking at these rookies, looking at Ray Davis, Keon Coleman, all the other rookies. We've been looking at them all off season long. We'll be looking at them some more throughout training camp and minicamp. On top of your favorite veterans, your favorite storylines, players on new teams, players coming back from injuries. Stop missing out on your favorite players. Click that button right now. We're looking at Curtis Samuel. We're going to go through these clips right here, about a minute of clips here. We're going to talk some ball, watch him work out. There he is, number 1. And then Josh Allen, live and in the flesh, slinging it to Curtis Samuel right there. Clips courtesy of ABC 7. Another snag. Looking good. Another Josh Allen firing it out. Curtis Samuel with the grab here. Here's another one. Showing good hands. The crafty veteran from the Ohio State Buckeyes, formerly of the Washington Commanders, Carolina Panthers. Another snag. He's got quick feet. Fast wide receiver. Curtis Samuel could be the X factor in this offense because he's got different traits compared to some of the other wide receivers on this depth chart. A lot of the other wide receivers, when you look at like a Keon Coleman, Khalil Shakir, Mac Hollins, Chase Claypool, MVS, deep ball city guys. Curtis Samuel can be that. He's got the speed. He's a 4.3 burner, but he can hover around the line of scrimmage, short to intermediate, get you yards after the catch. Allow those guys to streak it downfield, and then he can soak up those short targets, try to get the yards after the catch, eat up that space. And that's big here. And that's something we saw him do with other teams. Just hover around the yard line of scrimmage, around the middle of the field, get those balls targeted his way, try and get you yards after the catch, be that big play monster. He's also very dependable. He's a very dependable veteran wide receiver who's running the correct routes, dependable hands, dependable at breaking off the routes. One of the reasons why the Bills want him. Fast-paced, fast wide receiver who can keep up the tempo of the offense. Has a lot of upside. Is really going to allow Josh Allen to be aggressive because he can depend on him, and then he doesn't have to worry about him, and then he can rely more on his instincts because he wants to push the ball downfield. If those outlets are not open downfield, they can go to Curtis Samuel, or they can push it downfield to him too because he's got the speed to do so. Stretch it out over the middle, stretch it out on the seam. Doesn't even matter with Curtis Samuel. He's got the speed to do so. Multifaceted wide receiver with a lot of upside here. When I look at him for fantasy football purposes, he's a guy you're keeping an eye on. I'm not saying you need to go out and draft him. You're keeping an eye on because every year there's a span of the season where people talk him up for DFS because the workload metrics are coming his way. You're picking it up. You're putting him in your lineup. You're dropping him. You're picking him up, putting him in your lineup. You're dropping him. We saw that last year. Could be like that this year, but we got a better quarterback play. We got a depth chart where he could take over. I mean, they picked up a rookie wide receiver who should be getting a lot of time. You got Khalil Shakir, and he projects to be more of the shorter target guy, short to intermediate, but could be pushed downfield as well. And we saw that with other teams. They know that. They studied him. That's what they're probably looking to do with him. But with Curtis Samuel here, we know he could command the target share. For Dynasty, if you're looking for a cheap wide receiver and you're looking for upside games here and there throughout the season, yeah, I mean, it's cheap. Anything cheap is good. Anything cheap's all right. You're just picking your poison. Curtis Samuel, a crafty veteran wide receiver that you can get cheap. Okay, that's cool. He's in a good offense. He's got 4.3 speed. There are times throughout the season where people look at him. It was last year on a worse offense where he was getting cracks, where he's getting target share, where he's getting yards after the catch. The ADOT was always low, but the volume was there. He had some games of productivity. That being said, Curtis Samuel is a player that could be a lottery ticket for you in Dynasty Fantasy Football if you're looking for a cheap wide receiver. I hope you're not. I hope you don't need cheap wide receivers. I like to build around wide receivers and get cheap running backs. That's my strategy. So really, I'm not really doing that. But if that's something you're into, that's your jam right now, that's something you have to do, that might be a wide receiver you might be targeting due to the price, due to the upside in the offense. And you got to understand, it could be a roller coaster because I know Josh Allen wants to sling it deep. We got Keon Coleman there. Things could be weird. I look for him to be an under-the-radar guy, though, and he's cheap. He's very cheap. Bills fans, you got speed to burn. You can use him on all phases, short, middle, deep, all over the place. You got other deep ball wide receivers. You might use them more in the middle area. But still, the yak, the yards after the catch, you get him in space, it could be nasty. He's a veteran. He's dependable. Allow Josh Allen to get under center. Look at his reads. Look at his pre-snap. Feel good at what Curtis Samuel's doing. So if he needs to keep looking downfield, he knows his outlet's going to be okay. He knows his outlet's going to be dependable. Curtis Samuel is an under-the-radar asset for this Bills team and in the NFL. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button on the way out. I want to thank you for watching. Catch you on the next video.